Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tank12, however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today we're going to be taking a look at the game I had in my mouse, and to be fair, I didn't really check what kind of camouflage or style I was running on the mouse when I, jumped into battle, and it turns out I'm running the ridiculous mouse getup, which, as you can see, is completely over the top. There's a lot of detail, don't get me wrong. It's just not something for me. I much rather have a bit more realistic, down-to-earth kind of styles. I like this rug, the Russian rug over here on the T30, and also the Kunze over there. That's very colorful, let's put it like that. But yes, the mouse, I think I like the color scheme, the red and yellow, and it also looks a bit washed out, and you just have the feeling that this thing has been around for a long time, and it certainly has. There's still one mouse remaining in the Kubinka Tank Museum in close to Moscow, and it's incredible. Like, unfortunately, I was never able to visit myself, but next time I go to Moscow, I definitely am going to do that. I've been to the Tank Museum in St. Petersburg, and that one was really, really cool as well. So either way, I mean, you can see quite a lot of things. You have, all of a sudden, you have a new kind of, I don't know what that's supposed to be, maybe a 30mm kind of gun. And then you have the quadruple 20s on top of it versus aircraft. But either way, let's get into the thick of it. We're playing the mouse, and we're going to try to push the forest on Murovanka, and that's usually not a very good place to be if you're in a heavy tank like the mouse. There is no artillery though, so our mobility is the only thing that is restricting us from getting to a place, and probably enemy incoming fire. But doesn't start off very well. We just lost the AMX 5120, and I do have the feeling that this part is going to be overrun very quickly because we have a very large deficit in tanks over here. They have a lot more vehicles. What I noticed though is that the enemy team is not very aggressive in their approach. As you can see, there's suddenly, we can just pause it for a second, there are several vehicles. We just got hit by the E4 and we put one into him. But we have an AMX M451, we have an E50, we have an Object 7772, which is the Tier 9 reward vehicle, T110E4, the AMX 5120, E100, AMX 50B, and there's probably more hiding somewhere in the back. There's still a STB1 that hasn't been spotted, and the Stridswagen 103 that's probably in the back. But yes, you can see we are 4 tanks over here, and the Kunze that is on the side. So we have to do a lot of work to be able to work ourselves out of this one. Unfortunately, our ammo rack gets destroyed by the E4, or it gets damaged. But now is the part where you really need to get into the groove of the mouse. This is where you really need to be aware of how to play the mouse. The E4, like, weirdly shows us his side, gives us a nice 500 damage roll, and this is where I'm trying to survive for my team, so we can actually engage these guys to our left and to our right. Weirdly, the enemy team is very reluctant to push out into any kind of direction, or just to push like as a unit, and it allows us, with our very, let's say, mediocre rate of fire, to actually return quite a bit of damage to them. We've already bounced 1,590 damage. There's still an E4 over there, he's still firing at us. Luckily, we bounced him again. If he would have fired APCR, which I really respect that this E4 is not firing APCR, he would have easily gone through our cheeks, I think, even at that angle. So yeah, but we are able to hold the line, even though our E50 and the AMX M4 are both in a quite critical situation. What I don't get, on the other hand, is though how that one didn't penetrate the Object 77. We somehow bounced him on the side armor, so it must have really went like wide or through the tracks. The E4 though is our main priority. We need to get this AMX 50B and this E4 out of our sight. We've already bounced 3,490 HP, and I'm trying to block this E4 from shooting one of these guys over here because I don't want them to die. Luckily for us though, we somehow managed to survive, and the Kunze and the Object 140 decide to flank around because the enemy team is just so passive. Now this passivity really allows us to play our trump card, which is, you know, using our massive amount of armor. And that's what we do right here. I'm trying to get over to the other side. The E4 just killed off the E50 who wanted an easy kill, and now I'm deciding to move in to get some more damage. Now, the STB1 obviously is going to try to circle me, but we can deal with that. We have more than enough HP to take some hits, and there are only 3 vehicles remaining. So I really want to take care of this AMX 5120 so that we have less guns pointed at us. He's probably in a reload. This STB1 is quite annoying though, so I haven't really started looking at him, but we have to help our Object 705A. That E100 there, he just took care of him, and we're just trying to get rid of these 2 guys. And the thing is, what I really think is that nobody was really firing premium shells in this encounter except for the AMX 5120 and the E100. But that's, I'd say, kind of foolish if you're going up against a mouse, because you can see I bounced 6.2k damage, and it's not that I have been extremely well angled all the time, but I also got quite lucky in certain instances. But, you know, in those engagements, I don't really think you need, like, to be fair, if you had premium shells, you probably would have dealt with me a lot more and quicker. You probably would have gotten me out of the game in about, let's say, a minute or so. And but still, we were able to take them out without using a single shell of premium rounds. And right there, I was a bit confused if I was loading APCR or AP. But it turns out that I was just firing AP. Which I really have to look out for, because if I do fire APCR, I'm on a very tight budget on the mouse, and on my account I don't have a lot of credits at the moment, so I'm trying to keep the costs as low as possible. But still, this was a very nice game, and I certainly think quite a good display of how you can really get punished in the mouse without really getting punished, if you know what I mean. But still, this is a great tank, and without artillery, without premium shells, you can really work it if you are able to dictate the kind of combat you want. Luckily for us, that E4 was not very experienced, because he was probably the biggest threat to us, but he kind of messed up by not knowing the weak spots of my vehicle, and also not having the patience to wait for me to turn my turret around to face him. But still, I really like this forest area. I like the mouse, and it's been a good game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, have a good one.